Hello, everyone. First off, a thank you for everyone for all the love you've shown for Visual Studio Code. It's been very humbling, and me and my team appreciate it very much. Second, a special thanks to all the contributors to the VS Code Go plugin and all the work you've been doing in the last year. Last year has seen a great increase in the number of people contributing, be it logging issues, discussing issues, submitting PRs, fixing my typos, whatever it is. So, with that, let's start. You might all know, if you've been using Visual Studio Code, your favorite extensions, when they have an update, you don't get a specific notification. They just update in the background, and you get the update. That's good. You don't want to be annoyed with notifications all the time. But the downside of that is you never get to know what the cool features are coming in through every update. Unless, of course, you're seeing the changelog every now and then. So I want to take this opportunity to tell you the top 10 cool things that you should know that came out in Visual Studio Code for Go in the past year. Note, I won't be talking about the Visual Studio Code features themselves, because that would be like hundreds, and we would never finish. I would be specifically restricting this talk to just Go experience in Visual Studio Code. Let's get to it. We'll start in the land of testing. Number one. You all know and love code lenses. Those are these neat little links that let you run the test or debug the test with one single click. This year, we extended this support for benchmarks. You can do the same thing, just click Run Benchmark. The benchmark will be run. Not only that, if you've been using the Testify package to have a test suite and have many tests inside them, the same code lens has been extending to be used in the case of suits as well. Now, for example, here, this is the entire suite, so you can click on that, and the entire suite is run, or you can run the individual tests inside the suites. The corresponding setups and teardowns, everything will be run as expected. Still being in the testing land, number two is, if you've ever had long-running tests and wondering, how the hell do I cancel this? You don't have to worry anymore. Now, you can do that via a command, or when you do have these long-running tests, in the status bar down here, there'll be a button for you to cancel the test. So if that has ever made you shy away from running tests in VS Code, now you don't have to. Number three, let's go to code coverage. In VS Code, code coverage, you could have it via two ways historically. A, you specifically ask for it via command, or on the other extreme, you set a setting such that on every file save, tests are run, coverage is updated. We give you a sweet middle ground this time, which is whenever you run all the tests in a package, say, for example, I use this code lens, the cover profile is created, and your coverage is applied. So this is the sweet middle ground, and it fits into your flow. You would like to run all the tests in a package, see the coverage. Continuing in the coverage land, we know that red and green is not a good idea to depict success and failure for your users. Not everybody can distinguish between these colors. So now you can go to your user settings and change these colors. Just go to coverage, and here you have these colors. You can change the RGB values to whatever you like. Number four, if you don't like this in-your-face coverage all the time, you could change the style as well. Go to the same setting. I'll copy that, and I'll change that to gutter. Save it, go back. Now you have the decorations in the gutter at the side, not in your face all the time. So try code coverage. Number five, diagnostics. You know we run build, lint, and wet, right? But they run on file save. As your projects become bigger, they might take more time. So now we have on-demand build lint on your current package or the entire workspace. So you can disable the on-save feature if needed, and then just run these commands when you're ready to get the warnings you want. Speaking of linting, we now have more options for you. So if you go to the lint tool, previously we supported GoLint and MetaLinter, and now you have MegaCheck and Golang CI lint and Revive, more choices for you. I've forgotten the count, but I'll just keep going. Let's see, I've done tools. Next is the land of debugging. So let me come here. And this is a simple Hello World file with a couple of other stuff. Previously, so like I press F5, let me open the panel here. All the variables you could see were just the local variables. But now you can see the package variables as well. So if I expand this, by greeting is a package variable. You now can see the value as well. So now I keep stepping over, the value changed, and you see the value changing on the debug violet as well. If I continue this, by greeting is now having a very long string. You would see this. We have a limit of 64 characters. That is the default limit of delv, which we use for debugging. Now you could change that. So let me see, go delv, not go delv. So I copy that. And so I have all these. I need to use the new API for that, so I'll do that. False. And here's your thing that you can change. Let me just change it to a little higher. I come back here. I press F5. Dun, dun, dun. Move over long string. Do I have the long string now? I do have the long string. So now the array size, which was limited to 64, string size that was limited to 64, you can now change that and play with it. Similarly, if you have nested, I'm running out of time. If you have nested values, you can also change the setting to change the recursion. So all the maps, you can nest it, and you can see all the values in your side debug violet here. The last thing I wanted to show was conditional breakpoints. You can also add breakpoints, but say the condition when I equals 1, I only want to hit the breakpoint there. In conclusion, if you've been keeping count, by the way, I just did 9. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, which is cool, is 8 out of 9 features that I just talked about were community contributions. Think about it. It was somebody who's sitting here, one of you, who I worked with to get these features. What does that mean? Many more of you can do the same. So if you ever have an idea, log a feature request. I'll always add pointers how to go about it, and then we can make magic happen. And now I open the floor for questions. Just kidding. I just wanted to give Mark a heart attack.